introduce yourselves to the Ibn Ashir. This is just an introductory note about Ibn Ashir the man and Ibn Ashir the text. Ibn Ashir is, in fact, itself as a text. It is a poem made up of which is in fact 340 verses. It is the number of messengers, and so I'm going to just introduce yourselves to the man and to the text in general terms, so that to know what to expect in the coming weeks, inshallah. Okay, so Ibn Ashir. Let's begin with Ibn Ashir, the man. He is from Ansar. His ancestors, in fact, he is called Al-Ansari, Al-Andalusi Ibn Ashir, Abdul Wahid Ibn Ashir, Al-Ansari, Al-Andalusi, Al-Fasi. Al-Ansari, because his ancestors were, in fact, among those two tribes in the Medina Munawwara before the coming on to it of the Prophet, peace be upon him. And it is them, in fact, who received and welcomed the Prophet, peace be upon him, and protected him. And in fact, they were the first Muslims in Medina Munawwara, right? And his ancestors came with the first Muslims who came to Morocco, and from Morocco, from here, they crossed to Spain, and they crossed to Spain with or sometime after Tariq ibn Ziyad. This is a very big figure here in Morocco, in the history of Morocco. Tariq ibn Ziyad is a great military leader. He embraced Islam, and then he made a great, in fact, endeavor to open Spain for Muslims and to Islam. What he did, this person, this great personality, in fact, is that when they crossed to Spain, the very first thing he did is that he burned the ships. Right? So the ships were burned, and some people talk about what Tariq ibn Ziyad did. They see it as a sort of suicidal act, when in fact it's not, because what he did is that he barred the possibility to backtrack for those who were with him. That is to say, and then still some people would say, okay, then he put them face to face with two options, either to succeed or to perish. I would say no. He put them between two options, which are either to succeed or to succeed. When you find with only one option, the other options they become plans. So then you have just one option. So what you do is that you start with having plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and so on and so forth, right? Until this way of thinking is in fact based upon the concept of belief that man is created able to come up with the right response, whatever the situation is. So, in fact, and this is basically one of the things that taught, in fact, ultimately by Islam, because it makes the human being, in fact, come to the conviction that he is born able to come up with the right response, and the right response actually is given to him by Sunnah and by the Holy Quran and the Sunnah. So all that, as Muslims, all that we've got to do is to abide by it. So what, as I said, he came to believe that as a person, he is created able to come up with the right response, whatever the situation is. So what he did is that he burned the ships, and the outcome of that is that that handful people, in fact, the very small number of people who were with him, they ultimately succeeded. They ultimately succeeded, and then, in fact, they planted the seed of Islam in Spain, in southern Spain, which is called Andalus. They stayed there. His ancestors, in fact, stayed in Spain for some 8 centuries until the fall of Granada. With the fall of Granada, they came with other people to Morocco, and especially they stayed in Fez. In Fez, this city, this same city, in fact, you're most welcome whenever you would like to come along. You're most welcome, anyone of you. This blessed city of saints and city of Qarawiyyin University, the first university the world over. So his ancestors came here, and after some 1.5 centuries or so, Ibn Ashir, our man, in fact, was born. He was born in 990. So the fall of Granada was in 897. So then 1 century later, Ibn Ashir was born, and he was born in 990 Hijri and died in 1040. That you say he lived 50 years. And he was born and lived and passed away in Fez. This is nearly, roughly, the time of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz al-Bagh, right? Now, this is for Ibn Ashir, the man. Now, let's go to Ibn Ashir. Ibn Ashir, the text. In fact, Ibn Ashir, the text, as I said, it is a poem which is in 340 verses, which is exactly the number of messengers, and it is in 3 parts. The first part talks about the system of beliefs, aqidah, and the second part, the main part of it, is about jurisprudence, fiqh, and the last part is about the path of self-purification, or what they call Sufism, right? Now, up till this day, in fact, we Moroccans here in Morocco, we have our life, Moroccan life, politically speaking, religiously speaking, from all perspectives, it revolves around certain principles. In fact, 4 principles. These are three of those principles. But used to say, al-aqidah al-ash'ariyah, aqidah ahli sunnati wal jama'ah, aqidah of ahli sunnah, derived from Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari, and al-fiqh al-maliki, derived from in fact the Mudawwana of Imam Malik, and the path of self-purification based upon the path. Now, in his poem, in fact, he makes the reader of his poem finds, especially if you are a little bit familiar with Arabic, you find that he is in fact making life easier for you, because in the belief system he is basing it upon al-Barahin. Al-Barahin is one of the greatest, small as it is in some 4 or 5 pages, but small as it is very, very crucial, in fact, here for any reader or any beginner or any student of Aqidah. It is so this is al-Barahin. For jurisprudence, he bases it on it is based on Mukhtasar Khalil. Mukhtasar Khalil, it is the summarized version of a man called Khalil, a Moroccan man called Khalil, and he is in fact he summarized the totality of Maliki fiqh, and then the path of self-purification is based on Al-Risalatul Qushayriyah, right? One of the great sources of Sufism. It is written by Abdul Karim al-Qushayri. Okay, so now the aqidah, in fact, it's not that he's not compiling anything just like at random, right? No, there is a certain rationale behind it, behind this, in fact, collection of aqidah and of jurisprudence and of the path of self-purification. Because aqidah, in fact, it gives us why